I love this whole farm thing. I love this whole garden thing, but I hate bugs. I don't like bugs. Whew. Nixon 5. Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. I am Dika, born and bred New Yorker, living in Brooklyn, have lived in Brooklyn my entire life, and I created this channel to share my DIY projects with you in a different environment, in a very urban New York City environment where space is limited and there's always a lot of background noise. But the truth be told, DIY projects don't happen all the time. There's limited space, so there's limited projects, materials are expensive, and I don't have a lot of money, and my life is not just about DIY projects. And the purpose of this channel is to take people along my journey as a 40-something-year-old woman, making a life for myself and doing my best to enjoy it day by day. And so today is the start of my urban gardening series. I would love to get on here and give you this long prolific speech about why gardening is so important and how it will save me a whole lot of money and I don't have to go to the supermarket, but that's not true. I still will have to go to the supermarket. I will still have to buy produce because I live in the Northeast, Zone 7B, and our growth season is very limited, is short, and what we can grow outside of manipulation is limited, and I have limited space, if we're being completely honest. And so while some may have different reasons for growing and producing their own food, my reason is to challenge myself, right? Because doing something new is always a challenge, trying to figure out what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, how to get the results you want to get, and that's why we have YouTube University within God. But it's also a means to reconnect me to my food. Do I understand the science behind pollination and how a tomato is grown? Absolutely not. And this is an opportunity for me to learn and understand and to have a better appreciation for what nature can do and how nutrient-rich food can help sustain this body. I don't want to get on a soapbox and rant and rage about how the food that we eat that's created in labs are not healthy for us. I think there's always a video and there's someone who can tell you that. But what I want you to take from this urban gardening experience is that anything is possible regardless of the amount of space that you have. A lot of people who live in urban spaces or the urban environment believe that if they don't have a large plot of land, they cannot reconnect to the earth. They cannot grow their own food. And while you can't grow everything, you can grow a couple of things. And so I sit here today next to my GreenStalk. And this has been a new experience for me. I'll give you guys a full tour of my GreenStalk. So to begin, I set up my GreenStalk a little bit under a month ago. I bought it several months ago. They had a sale. I don't remember. GreenStalk was literally stalking me in my Instagram. And I was like, oh, that looks like fun. That looks kind of cool. It's a little pricey. I don't know. But I decided to pull the trigger and I bought me a GreenStalk. Oh my God, look, the aphids are out to play. Okay, we're gonna harvest today. I'm so sorry. I could see the aphids on my spinach, even though I've companion planted with, all right. pardon me. See, as you go through this process, you learn and understand about the pests that will attack your food. I wanted to challenge myself to grow my own food. And in an ideal world, I'd have a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bathroom house with a half an acre in the back and a nice front yard and tons of space to grow my own food. But the truth of the matter is, I live in a 5th floor apartment with a whole lot of noise. And sometimes when they say life gives you lemons, you'll make lemonade. Living in an apartment is not a lemon. It's just my life. And the question is, how do I adjust my desires to grow food and to plant and to reconnect with the earth in the space that I have? And so I looked at it a couple of ways, and I found a community garden not too far from me. And I was like, okay, I'd love to join, but I wasn't sure what that would look like, how long it would take, whether I'd be accepted. I knew absolutely nothing about becoming a member in a community garden. So my backup plan was, I'll just grow it on my balcony. It's my space. They can't tell me what to do with it. They meaning, like, there's no member community group that can tell me what I can and cannot grow. So I'm going to just use my balcony. And so if I didn't get a membership at a community garden, at the very least I'd be able to grow some things on my garden, on my balcony. And that is where the GreenStalk came in. So the GreenStalk, it's a company, I think many people who are in the gardening space have heard of them. They have a vertical garden with different size pockets. Urban environment. It's a vertical planter with different size pockets. I have the Inventor's package. The Inventor's package, let's see. The Inventor's package comes in 2 sizes. So this is the larger pocket and this is the smaller pocket. And the Inventor package gives you the best of both worlds, which allows you to grow larger vegetables like this here, which is my zucchini. And then I can also grow smaller things like my basil here. This is purple basil and this is Thai basil. If you do like that, it smells so good. Oh my God. So I'd like to give you a tour of my vertical planter, just so you understand what is possible in a 6 by 10, a 60 square foot space. So just so you can understand, these are the parameters of my balcony. I don't have a lot of space, and as you can see, I live in an apartment, right? So we've confirmed all of those things. If you've made it this far into the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. And the great thing about let me bring it wide, about the GreenStalk, now this is not sponsored, I paid for this, is that the GreenStalk can be spun or spins around, so it allows for easy access. The tiers are stackable. This is me in relation to how tall the GreenStalk is, and I'm 5'4". This is where, if you open this up, you slide it like this, you can fill the GreenStalk up in here. You put your water in there, and there are a series of plates. Maybe I can find a corner. All right, so in here, that is actually a plate that has drip holes. So when you pour the water in the top, it runs through into all of these plates and drips into each pocket. And this is my sugar baby watermelon. Now, I did a lot of research before planting in the GreenStalk. I tried my best to companion plant. Here is some nasturtium, which is supposed to help keep certain pests away, and I still have pests. This is bok choy, And if I get in close, I can show you what I mean about pests. So on the bottom of this leaf here, I hope you can see it, are aphids. Aphids are little leaf suckers. And here my bok choy stems are turning purple. I did some research today and I learned that that's because it's in need of phosphorus. So you see this leaf is turning yellow. On the bottom of the leaf you can see I have an aphid infestation. So I'm going to remove this, and I'm also going to harvest these bok choy today, but I'm also going to spray a lot of these things down with a combination of water and Castile soap from a spray bottle. These are my bush beans. I don't know if you look closely, you see a bean growing in here and you see a bean growing in here. I have a bunch of bugs. I tried my best and still I got bugs. I'm actually going to, here is an example of companion planting. These are scallions that I've grown at home, and you plant them alongside your tomatoes, which are safe, and they're supposed to help keep the bugs like aphids away. So here's another scallion that's planted alongside another variety of tomato. And here is my zucchini. And here is another zucchini. If you look closely, you can see they're growing in. Down here, these are my broccoli. Oh no, I'm wrong. These are my cabbage. And I've also planted some scallions next to them to keep the little pests away. These are Brussels sprouts. I have 2 sets of Brussels sprouts. Now, while I don't like Brussels sprouts and they say grow what you like, it's an opportunity for me to learn how to prepare them and possibly come to like them. These are garlic. So I've planted some garlic, and that is supposed to help keep the pests away. These are marigolds. I have deadheaded, which means to remove the old bulbs so that more energy can be put into the rest of the plant so it can produce more bulbs. All right. These are my cucumbers that are coming in, and again, companion planted with some scallion. So far you've seen my zucchini, you've seen my cucumbers, and here are my sweet peppers. And if you look really close, you can see something's coming in there. And here is another sweet pepper. I think that might be bugs, so we're gonna spray for that. And hopefully they'll grow. Hopefully they'll produce. And if they don't, it's okay. These are the grape tomatoes. So I have to trellis them. And yes, GreenStalk does sell a trellis, so I'll be able to trellis these shortly. And these are another variety of tomatoes. Up here I've had nasturtium, again, to help companion plant and keep bugs away. And up here, these are my broccoli. I hope you can see. I don't have any broccoli stalks coming in just yet, but they look like they're doing pretty well. And to companion plant, I have some chives on the inside. All right, and here's some more broccoli. And look at what we have here. These are carrots. And if you're looking closely, you can see the base of the carrots. And I have some garlic planted in here to help keep some pests away. I'm not sure if it's working. And up here, which I'm going to harvest today, I have curly kale. Right? You've seen this in the store. Here is probably an example of them being eaten up and stuffed by aphids. Right? but I'm gonna harvest these today so that they can continue to grow and do well. Oh, and I almost forgot, we have beets. These are beets, and let's see if I pull them back. All right, you can see down there, the beets, I don't think the beets are companion planted. So we'll probably pop some garlic in there when we're done. And so I have 2 small pockets for my beets, and they're not ready to be harvested yet. When they're ready, you'll actually see the beet, the top of the beet, come up through the ground. And here we have cilantro, and I'm actually going to allow the cilantro to go to seed. And what that means is that it still produce seeds. The seeds are called coriander, and I'll be able to plant them next planting season. And here I have some oregano. So I'll use this later this week when I make dinner. And I trim them back to encourage growth and to keep the base a little open so that we don't develop disease. Here are my Malabar spinach, and that's a variety of spinach. These are really big. I'm going to harvest these tonight and use them in a stir fry. And here's some more Malabar spinach. And when you harvest and you cut them back, as you cut, they'll grow some more. And here I have, behind the curly kale, I have thyme. And I've used this in my roasted fish. And again, as you trim them back, they'll grow back. So you've seen my bush beans, you've seen my nasturtium, you've seen my bok choy, and almost forgot, while this is not a green stalk, this is my strawberry patch. And I have marigolds here that I need to deadhead, and I think this little flower here will grow to become a full, mature, God's willing, strawberry. And these are my strawberry patch. This is my strawberry patch. And here, we'll see, hopefully, will become a strawberry. To mimic something similar to the GreenStalk, I've added this spinner base so that I can easily turn my base and make sure each pocket is getting exposed to light. And at the bottom here, I just planted some ginger. So I'm excited to see and to use the ginger as it grows. On the other side of my balcony, I have, my lemongrass needs water. It's been really hot in the city. So this is lemongrass, which I'm gonna harvest to make some iced tea. This is a hot pepper. Let me check underneath. It's a habanero. And this is mint. Mint is best grown in a pot to help manage the growth. And I'm actually gonna spin it so that it's turned toward the sun. And then finally up here is my lemon balm. You know when you've been talking to the camera for 5 minutes and you felt like you just got it all out, only to find out the camera wasn't recorded? Well, anyway, here we are. And we're gonna wrap this up because I gotta go cook some dinner and I gotta harvest, right? Because I promise you guys, I'm gonna show you how to harvest. Now, if you like this video so far and you think you want to come along, or you're curious and you want to come along with me on this journey on how to urban garden in a GreenStalk and cook wonderful food and stretch ourselves and step out of our comfort zone and find new and interesting recipes, like, comment, and subscribe. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe there's another way to get rid of aphids and blending garlic and water and onions just ain't it. I don't know. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. I could try a spray bottle with some Castile soap. I don't know if it's working. I tried that. I know they say do it during the evening or early morning before the sun is high. I don't know. I don't know. If I'm being completely honest, I'm frustrated because I have aphids and I really tried my best not to get aphids. That being said, I also don't like bugs because I'm an urban girl. I am. I love this whole farm thing. I love this whole garden thing, but I hate bugs. I don't like bugs. So you're not gonna get the fake, oh hey guys, this is what we do. No, we're gonna get real deal. We're gonna get, I'm frustrated, I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't want any creepy crawlers. As a matter of fact, I went on vacation and came back and there was a cabbage caterpillar. I don't know, there was some big ass green bug eating up my cabbage. It was big, it was like this big, and it was green. Help us, Father. Help me, please. I'm asking. I'm putting out this video for help. It's my call for help because I don't know what the heck I'm doing. But you know what? I'm going to do with a smile and I'm going to have fun. And even if I'm not smiling, two flies just went into the house. Now I'm going to have to fight to get them out. Hopefully they come out the house. I don't know. But come along. Come along. Let's learn from each other because I have so much more to learn. And thank you for watching. And stay tuned for the harvesting video. And I have a big surprise. Stick around for part 2. Just follow along with the series and tell me what you've learned. And tell me what I'm doing wrong. And don't forget to tell me what I'm doing right because we all like compliments too. See you next time. Bye guys.